Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday League's Champions League. Chris here, aka Big Will, and today we have two league games for you. We are at home against Birmingham and away against Watford. Obviously, we did the main introduction last time round. We have played a few matches and we've done a few transfers as well. So it's been a little bit of a busy time. When we first came into the club, we didn't have the best of starts, to be honest. We lost uh, three of our first four games in charge, one of which was a draw against Norwich. Tactically, I've tried a couple of things, and then all of a sudden, we've just spurred into life. A 6-0 win at home to Sheffield United was then followed up by a 4-0 win away against Swansea. Obviously, the advantage now is we've got a full allotment of coaching staff as well. Everything is being split nicely between the staff and the squad and everything. So we are starting to see the results go our way. Um, realistically, I'm just looking at a mid-table finish this season. Obviously, if we get a really good run of form, we might be able to push for top half. But realistically, looking at things at the moment, we're sat in 17th place with 16 games to go in the league, and we have 5 points clear at the moment of the relegation zone. In terms of when you were looking up to the playoffs, there's what 13 points behind. So to be honest, it's not a completely unassailable gap, if I'm being truthful. But there's a lot of good teams in this league, and realistically, we're not going to be challenging for anything this season. Obviously, we came right at the start of January as well. There's been a little bit of transfer business, as I've mentioned before. And we'll just take a little bit of a look at that now. There's been a lot of players that have left the club since my arrival. There's been a few loan deals, but there's also been a few fringe players leave. One of the defenders that we had here, he went for 25,000 to Tranmere. Leo McCormick to Celtic for 170,000. Ash Battle went to Ipswich for 175,000. Lorenzo Montipo 100,000, 60,000 for Philippe Kenny, who's a 32-year-old attacking winger. And then one of our youngsters, Mark Stally, got picked up by Luton for £500,000, which, to be honest, he was a player that I was looking at. Didn't really strike me as a player that could really take it to that next level. So to get £500,000 for a player like that, I was pretty pleased, to be honest. And then in terms of transfers coming in, it has been a quiet window. But with the sale of McCormick and Montipo, we needed a backup goalkeeper. So we brought in Brazilian keeper Beto on a free transfer. He's taken one of the ESC places at the club. I quite like him, to be honest. He's got good agility, good jumping reach. He's 6'2". Overall goalkeeping attributes are pretty reasonable, to be fair. Decent positioning, good concentration and decision making, really determined character. And yeah, his actual goalkeeping attributes seem quite reasonable. I think his actual aerial reach and the command of the area communication could do with a bit of work, but obviously he is Brazilian. When it comes down to it, he could improve quite considerably, but he will act as backup to Harrison for the moment. And in terms of valuation, again, we brought him in on a free transfer. He could be worth anything between £2 and £3 million. So really happy to have brought him in. And following the sale of Kenny for £60,000, we needed another winger option. So Juan Besant has come in, again on a free transfer, can play right or left-hand side. And largely I brought him in for his physical attributes, to be honest. He's got decent pace about him, balanced personality, so he's not completely outgoing. Like, he's not phenomenal, but at 30 years of age, he's coming for free. He's an okay finisher, and £20 million he's worth. I mean, I don't know where they've got that from, but if someone wants to give us £23 million for him in the summer, yeah, I'm not going to complain, uh, to be quite honest. But he rates really well, and he played on his debut in that 4-0 win that we had, and he scored twice in that game. So already we're starting to look pretty reasonable in that manner. So in terms of tactics, obviously I did mention that we were going to be doing something a little bit different. So we're going for a 5-4-1 basically, or a 5-2-3, even something along those lines. We've got an overlapping centre back. Now I have seen this work quite well in other saves. We did start with this, and we didn't do very well at all. But obviously, we didn't have any coaching staff or anything like that. So everything has been improved in the back room. But with the wing backs that we've got, it does allow us to be doing all of this kind of work with the advanced wing backs and the pressing fullbacks. Our wing backs have got the energy. Cuiabano, certainly the standout one at left wing back. And then we've got Finn back playing at right back at the moment. But we also have Prieto, who I believe is an Argentine, no, Uruguayan, sorry. And again, he can play in that role or further forward on the wing. So we do have plenty of options in and around that central defence as well. So there is going to be plenty of room to manoeuvre. We've got the playmaker in there as well. They will both drop back out of possession to defensive midfield, but they will be pressing defensive midfielders. And the fullbacks, they will drop back, but they will be pressing as well. So they will really push forward and try and win the ball back. We've got wide forwards out there and then outlet wingers when we're out of possession. And then we've got Dean in as a channel forward, and then he will drop back into this attacking midfield out of possession. So in possession, as you can see, we're covering most of the areas of the pitch, to be honest. Obviously, there could be a little bit of a gap in front of the back three, but McConville can cover in there, or he can come around the outside there as well. And out of possession, we are dropping right the way back, but Cuiabano and back, pressing fullbacks, they will push forward into that role, and we'll have basically a four-man defensive midfield covering that back three. And then we've got the two outlet wingers there, and Dean can cover in at the attacking midfield should it be required to do so, just to stop one or two balls being played forward if they have a defensive midfielder in there. So when you look at both together, the shape is pretty much straightforward. And as a combined side of things, we're pretty tight, I think. And hopefully it's something we can build on from those fantastic two results that we've just had. Obviously, they were fighting for relegation as a club. So it is something that we are going to have to keep an eye on. We are finding that the staff are favouring certain players at the moment. Harrison is going to be in goal. Sirota, Ross and McConville are going to be in that back three with Cuiabano and Prieto as the wing backs. Bar and Ibrahim in the central midfield with Ibrahimov, Bissant and Dean as the front three. Again, we do have pretty reasonable options. In terms of backups, Torlaj is there. He's got 11 goals so far this season. He can easily cover for Dean. Milentijevic, who actually wants to play a little bit more football. He's extra cover at centre-back with Finn back at right-back as well. Giber can cover at left-back as well as centre-back and in central midfield as well, as can the youngster Goran. Goran, by the way, 19-year-old Martinique international. He looks really, really good. And he's the kind of player that, in time, we will give a little bit more game time to, I think. He could be a very good defender indeed. So, squad-wise, we are a little bit small. I would like us to bring in potentially one or two more players. But to be quite honest, at the moment, I'm not overly forced. The balance of the team seems to be all right. They're coming together, trying to learn this new tactic. We've got some good youngsters in the under-21s. Incidentally, originally we only had the first team in the under-18s. We've convinced the board to put in for an under-21 side. So we've sorted that out in terms of staff as well. And it means that we've got a little bit of a middle ground between the first team and the under-18s so that we're not completely overhauling everything all the time. So already we're making improvements at the club. Financially, we've released quite a lot of wage budget from the players that we've sold, especially with the keeper Montipo. He was on nearly 20 grand a week. We have respent that on the winger Bissant. And yeah, it's just going to be a case of seeing what happens. We're up against fourth place Birmingham today. Obviously, the change in tactic, that reinvigoration into the squad as well. Of the fact that new manager syndrome is what I call it personally, where a new manager comes in, overhauls things, and the players seem to just click early on. It kind of has a bit of a... It always has that initial effect, if you see what I mean. So, yeah, we'll see how things go. Obviously, the last two games, 10 goals scored. So, hopefully that is something we can build on. Bissant's here with a corner, swinging it in, and it's a good clearance, to be fair. It's come back out to Bissant. He cuts into the penalty area, finds Ibrahimov. That's a great return, little pass to him. And Bissant's curling it just beyond that far post. Rushworth was very much beaten there. in the Birmingham goal. But the thing is, when you look at it, the two sides that we've beaten are in and around us in the table. The sides that we first started out against, obviously, we didn't have the staff, so there was no proper training being done at that time. And I think we could cause a few upsets in this second half of the season. As Ibrahimov gets an effort away and hits the crossbar. Another really good effort. And again, Rushworth beaten. But we're looking really positive here. And possession not looking particularly brilliant. But obviously, we're set up a little bit more defensive, to be fair. But when it comes to going forward, we do have those options there as well. Obviously, Bar in the central midfield with Ibrahim, he's going to be an advanced playmaker. So he will get into that attacking midfield gap and try and create opportunities from there. Cuiabano with the delivery from the corner. It's good headed clearance, but it's come out for Bisans. It's taken a huge deflection. And in the end, it's gone in from Kevin Prieto. It's his second goal of the season. And we take a pretty deserved lead, to be honest. I mean, I'm not too sure how the goal's been given to Prieto because I don't know about you guys, but I can't really see who that's come off in the end. I mean, it's kind of deflected off the Birmingham man into him. Whether he got the full touch or not, we'll leave that open to discussion. But we do take a deserved lead. And Birmingham, by the way, in fourth place in the Championship at the moment. This would be a very statement win. Um, And obviously, if we find tactically that this works, it'll be a case of just filling one or two positions just to settle things down a little bit. Ross and Serota exchanging passes between them there, trying to draw out the Birmingham midfield. And Ibrahimov's managed to get there from Cuiabano. It's a good clearance. Prieto's header to Ibrahim. And I mean, he's hit that on the half volley. Very much a hit and hope. And again, it's taken a huge deflection, but it is 2-0. It's taken a massive deflection. Rushworth, I mean, he couldn't get anywhere near it. The initial clearance was reasonable. Prieto did well to win the header over Stansfield, and Ibrahim's just hit that. And I mean, a poor attempt at a clearance. Rushworth definitely would have had that covered, in my opinion. Big defensive error, but we take a 2-goal lead here, and we are looking pretty good here, to be quite honest. And obviously, with the two big wins that we've had in the last two games, we've kept two good clean sheets as well. That's another thing that we need to be aware of. And I think overall, I don't know what they played tactically beforehand, obviously, but with us looking into this now, we have got opportunities to really develop this team. And to be honest, some of the players starting in the squad, they're pretty good. I mean, you've got Cuiabano, who's rated 4-star at this level, McConville, 3.5. Bar and Ibrahim in the midfield, 3 or 3.5-star, depending on what roles you play. And obviously the strikers won't rate quite as highly because we're asking them to drop into the attacking midfield. But again, we've got two decent strikers at the club as well that we can rotate between as Ramsey gets in behind and finds Clark, lays it back to Kone, and now Caceres into Ramsey again. And he's gone for goal there, Kane Ramsey. And it's a bit of, well, I mean, offside in the end. But Harrison, not too convincing with his goalkeeping there. Obviously, we have brought Beto in. And I'm not averse to giving him a shot if things go a bit sour in goal. But at the minute, we're looking pretty good. Here's Serota, just holding on to possession again. Ross, poor pass from him. Ibrahim couldn't get there. And the wing-backs have got to charge back here. We've been caught out. And Stansfield lays it back to Comer. And yeah, not convincing that from Harrison at all. Poor goalkeeping from him. Pretty poor from us with the back three there, though. We shouldn't be really faffing with it as much as we did. So we have conceded, and to be honest, based on the chance beforehand, that was coming. To be fair, I think that shot may have actually taken a deflection off the defender, so I won't be too critical of Harrison there. But at 2-1, in terms of shots on target, to be fair, Birmingham are only one shot behind us, but we have been more aggressive in our play in general so far. We are just going to pause there for a minute. I'm just going to have a look at us tactically and just see how we're doing fitness-wise. Ibrahim on a yellow card isn't ideal, so we're going to get the experienced Berat Özdemir on. Giber, we've not really had a look at him. His rate, to be honest, as a player, I think he could be quite good. He's a very determined character and everything as well. Good concentration, but he's just not quite got the technical side to his game yet. And I think we'll bring Schneider on in the midfield as well. Bar's not really been involved in the game. Schneider, another player with plenty of experience, Filipino international, 30 years of age, could do quite well in that playmaker role. Having both of them in there could work quite well for us. And then I think we'll bring Tolaj on for Dean. And Melantijevic, I think we'll bring on also for McConneville, who's just struggling a little bit fitness-wise, but it'll allow us just to change things up a little bit in there. Still got a couple of options on the bench, but obviously it's just a case of seeing what works for us. We've seen it, seen the formation and everything work, but in terms of the players themselves, obviously we are trying to still figure out the best team as well. Here's Milintijevic getting into that midfield area. Schneider into Cuiabano. Sirota, Ibrahimov, Cuiabano loses out to Clark. Schneider picks it up. Ibrahimov back across to Özdemir. He struck it from distance, and I tell you what, that could have easily been a third goal for us there. Rushworth did really well to get a touch onto it, and it remains 2-1. Scanlon here with the chance to swing it in from the corner. Good header clear from Ross. Ibrahimov couldn't get there. Scanlon lays it back to Clark, and now Almirai, and again, poor goalkeeping from Harrison. Again, I don't know if that took a deflection or not, though. I think the first one definitely did, but I don't know if that one did or not. Scallon swung it in. I mean, it's a good headed clearance from Ross. Ibrahimov tried to get out to it, couldn't quite get there, and we just didn't get out of the penalty area. Clark just laying it off for Almirai. It didn't take a deflection. That's just poor goalkeeping from Harrison. And it is 2-2. And after a really good first half performance, we've let them right back in it here. And we just need to be a little bit more aware, I think. I think we are being a little bit aggressive in our play. We will concede goals playing this way. Obviously, the last two games have done quite well for us. But we're showing really good signs. I mean, like I say, Birmingham are fourth in the Championship. They're not a bad side at all. And we're very much going toe-to-toe with them. Milintijevic into Özdemir, plays it forward. Look at the space that we have here. Prieto into Bisans. Now Milintijevic into Özdemir. Plays it into Tolaj. He's got support there. Schneider plays it through. Tolaj is in. And that is a really well-worked goal. Straight from the back. And Tolaj gets his 12th goal of the season in the league. I think it's his 15th in all competitions. That was really well worked. I mean, the thing is, with the advanced wing-backs and such as well, we have got plenty of players getting into the attacking areas. And we're more than capable of scoring goals, I think. The team is a lot better than the league position dictates. And I think playing with this positivity is the first time I've used a gegenpress, incidentally, in FM26. Normally, I just go for wing play, and that's it. But gegenpress was always the done thing in FM24. So, yeah, it does seem to have some kind of an effect. But like I say, it is the first time I've actually used it. But it helps having players that have got the fitness capability to be able to do something like this. Here's Almirai. Good tackle from Milintijevic. And now Ross into Sirota, who has the space there. Cuiabano plays it forward into Ibrahimov. Needs the support there. He's got Cuiabano coming outside of him, but Schneider picks it up, lays it into the area, and Tolaj with the strike. And that's a fantastic bit of defending there. And it's out for a corner. And with just a minute to go, that is a fantastic win. 3-2 victory. And we're very much looking like we're on the up. But that's a really good result against the side that are chasing promotion, realistically. And 3 wins on the bounce. Certainly positive signs, that is for sure. We have also got deadline day coming up before the game against Watford in a week's time. So if you bear with me, I'll get through deadline day. There may be a couple of signings just to build the squad up a little bit. And obviously there may be sales as well. We keep getting big offers for Ibrahimov from Hull City, but Hull are in League One, so he's got no interest in going anyway. But yeah, bear with me. I mean, Watford are up to third now, so it's another tough game. And we'll see what happens on deadline day. And fingers crossed we can keep up this really good little spell of form that we've ended up in. Okay then, guys, here we go for the game away against Watford. No fresh injury concerns or anything like that, but we do have a new signing. Alexis Enrique Rico is a left wing back who came through on the agent offers. We've signed him for £600,000. And to be honest, I think he's a really good pickup. He's got a resolute personality. Yes, his natural fitness could do with a little bit of work, but his physical attributes are quite reasonable. in terms of a general outlook. Really good teamwork and good work rate, really good determination, good crossing ability, and his defensive attributes are quite good as well with a good technique. Um, yeah, I really like him. He came through, like I say, on the offer report on deadline day, and we picked him up for £600,000. And yeah, really happy to have him in. We did also try and get another deal done for a central midfielder. I don't know how to get this to work properly. Um, it says there's two players on there, and it never shows up with them. But we do have another deal that is going to be coming into the club, and I don't know how to see it, to be honest. If you could let me know in the comments, that'd be great, because I keep having this problem where I can't see players on my shortlist. Um, will it come through on transfer history? No, because it's not gone through completely yet. Transfer window, ins and outs. Won't come through on that either. Anyway, it's a central midfield option. I'll see if I can find it in the messages. Gatch, that's him. So Rodrigo Gatch, he came through right at the end of deadline day. He had a work permit confirmed, but the deadline just finished, so we couldn't get the deal over the line. £300,000 we've signed him for. He will join in June. And I really like him. Again, a resolute personality, really good natural fitness, good physical attributes, great determination and flair, really good work rate as well, good passing vision, great passing and technique, free kick taker, good first touch. He is everything we'd want in that central midfield. £300,000, I reiterate. He's only 19 years of age, Argentinian midfielder. I think he is a fantastic pickup, to be quite honest. And hopefully he will settle into the club ready for next season. Obviously, after a full summer of transfer business, the squad could end up looking quite different. Um, Starting lineup, not too many changes involved. Back is back in on that right back position today. Quibano remains in at left back. The youngster isn't going to make the squad, I don't think, to start with. No, he is not on the bench. In fact, I will put him on the bench today for Guibert, just so that if we are doing quite well, we will be able to give him a run out. And the starting lineup remains the same. So hopefully we can go out there and get another really good result. And yeah, I'm really happy, to be quite honest. I didn't expect to do transfer business on deadline day. Obviously, I was keeping an eye on the agent offers. I never physically go out and have a look for players on deadline day. I wait for recommendations to come in. And realistically, it worked out quite well. And we've got two really good young players, one of which obviously is already here, the other one to come in at the end of the season. So certainly progression is being made very early doors. And going into this game, not entirely sure what to expect again. Obviously, Birmingham are in a promotion fight. We managed to get the 3 points. And Watford sat in third place at the moment. Hopefully, again, we can do the same. A good delivery into the penalty area. Quinones played it in, and Hurtado in the end with the strike off the underside of the bar. And Watford really putting the pressure on early doors here. And I think Chaffee there is offside. So complete reset required straight away at the start of this match. Watford very close to taking the lead early on. And from what I can tell, they did beat this Plymouth side earlier in the season. And it's a really good header from Quinones. And we've seen already his aerial presence from a previous cross-in. And unfortunately, he's found it quite easy to get in and score there. Defensively, not looking particularly bright at this early stage, but Quinones, I mean, it's a towering header. And again, question marks over Harrison. He didn't really cover himself in glory there. And at 1-0, we are very much up against it in this game. I don't really mind too much when it's away games. Obviously, the last three results we've had have been fantastic. But away games are always going to be tougher, and the Championship, as we know, is a very tough league. Really happy to have taken that step up from League One with Oldham, and it'll be interesting to see how they're getting on as well come the end of the season. But yeah, realistically, I'm not too disheartened if we get beat today. We've had a poor start, and then the last three games we've really looked good, and things are starting to settle down for us as Ibrahim plays it across to Quibano. Now Bar into Ibrahimov, back into Bar. Ibrahimov again, plays it forward. Cuiabano fires it in, looking for Dean. Good defensive block there from the centre-back. And they managed to get it clear. Cuiabano, though, to Ibrahimov. Can he get a shot away? He can't. And in the end, it got laid back to the edge of the penalty area. Nothing came of it. So yeah, at the minute remaining 1-0, they have been by far the better side, creating a lot more chances. But possession-wise, nice to see that we're having a little bit more of the ball. Obviously, in the game that we won against Birmingham, we didn't have a lot of possession, but we certainly seem to be holding our own, if nothing else. And hopefully, we can find a way of just getting into this game a little bit more. I'm a little bit concerned with our wide players at the moment. Bisantz hasn't really shown an awful lot in today's episode on this right-hand side. He's rating a 6.5 at the minute, but Ibrahimov, a player I rate quite highly, looking at the nature of the squad, as Chaffee gets in and makes it 2-0, Esgarbi with the cross in, but a flag has gone up for offside against Sagabi, so we got away with that one. But Ibrahimov rating a 6.2 at the moment, and Max Dean not doing anything in front of goal either. A good delivery into the penalty area, cleared away. Ibrahimov to Dean, and now Ross trying to play it back to Ibrahim. And in the end, the half-time whistle beats us to it before we can get a strike in at goal. But it's been a bit of a disappointing first half. I think we certainly need to improve in this second half. And again, Max Dean, I like him. I think he's a really good player, but I'm toying with the idea of just moving things around a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if it works, and I might do those changes in the second half with about half an hour or so to go, just to see if it is useful for us. And that's been launched all the way back to the keeper, and now Pollock plays it to the left-hand side for Morris, and now it's Garby. They're finding a lot of space, incidentally, which I'm not entirely sure why they're finding all that space on that left-hand side. We're just not seemingly holding our width very well. And to be honest, I might make the changes a bit sooner because I'm looking at the player ratings. Our front three have been completely impotent today, and it's not looking very good at all. Even McConville, as our overlapping centre-back, he's had a poor game today as well. Obviously, we know the system works. We've had 3 fantastic results. I think, to be honest, we're just going to make some changes here. So Ibrahimov, I'm going to drop into the midfield. Now, Bar can play out wide. He can play up front. He's a very good utility player. So we're going to put Bar out wide on that right-hand side. And we're going to bring Bisantz off for Tolaj, and we're going to put Dean on that left-hand side because he's got decent pace about him as well, Max Dean, I think, if I remember rightly. And cutting in from that left-hand side, he could be a dangerous player for us. So we'll see if that works any better. Tolaj coming on up front. And I think, to be fair, we will give Rico a debut as well for Cuiabano, who he's done okay, but he's not really been in the game. But Rico can come in there and potentially make a difference. And we're going to get Milintijevic on for McConville as well, who again has had a poor game in that role. Then in terms of actual fitness options, we're not actually looking too bad at the moment. But big opportunity for Rico, and we'll see how he gets on. It's a big game for him to come on in, but you know, sometimes it's probably just better to throw these players in at the deep end. He's got good determination, as we've seen, and I think it could be a really good pickup for us if we steadily give him that game time. And it's played to the edge of the area here, and Okaz with the effort, well saved by Harrison. And again, he's not looked convincing in goal at times, Harrison. Same with that header. He should be doing a little bit better from that opportunity as well, but it's just not quite clicked for him so far. But he's playing just a standard goalkeeping role as well, so he should be doing a little bit better, in my opinion. But again, we'll just see if anything happens from it. Ibrahimov rating a 6 now. He's just not got himself going today, and he's a key player for sure. He is a very key player for us, but he needs to pick it up. 5.9 now. He's just completely absent in this game, and I think, to be honest, I've seen enough. 5.9 rating, I have definitely seen enough. We're going to get Schneider on for him. Özdemir can come on for Ibrahim as well in that midfield. Get that experience on in there and see if it helps. Obviously, Schneider's at 30 years of age and Berat's at 33, so a lot more experience in that central midfield now. Can we find a way to get an equaliser? We don't really deserve one, I will be honest. Milintijevic does well, and Tolaj nods it on to Max Dean, who again, He's rating a 6.2 now as well. It's just not happened for us today. Rico doing well to beat his man, finds Dean, gets into penalty, finds Tolaj, and there is the equaliser. And Dean coming to this left-hand side, creating the assist. 2-2 now for Tolaj. And what we're going to do now is offer a little bit of encouragement. I keep forgetting that these shouts are available up the top, to be honest. Honestly, very much against the run of play, but we'll certainly take it. It's a well-taken goal from Tolaj, and the 30-year-old certainly showing that he is still capable of leading our front line. And obviously, big boost for Dean as well to get an assist on that also. But 1-0 as we go into injury time. It's just a case of holding on. Finn back here with the delivery. Dean couldn't quite win the header. Rico beats Mama to the ball, and Schneider with the strike gets blocked. Now Rico. Nice and calmly done from the teenager. Milintijevic into Bar. Back to Milintijevic. Great ball over the top. Bar in behind. Chance to fire it across the penalty area. He couldn't do so. Tolaj back to Özdemir. And we've only gone and won it right at the death here. I mean, we offered a bit of encouragement after getting that equaliser. It's a lovely finish from the veteran midfielder. And again, very much against the run and play, but we have stolen the 3 points here. Bar with the ball across. I mean, Tolaj laying it back to Özdemir. It's a lovely finish from the Turkish midfielder. But realistically, right in the centre of the penalty area, why is Tolaj not going for goal there? Oh well, I won't ask too many questions. It's ended up as a goal. Mama on this right-hand side, looking to get past Rico, does well. Makuta down this right-hand side, back into Ngakia. And now Alkaz, good interception from Sirota. Özdemir, back heel to Rico. He's done really well on the ball, actually, Rico. We've seen a little bit of him as he's come on in this second half, and he's done really well. And he fires it down the line. Schneider's in behind now, plays it across, and Tolaj was there again. And the defender just managing to get a touch on it to get it clear. And we have stolen the 3 points there. The substitutions very much making the difference. And I'm really, really pleased. In the end, we had more shots in total. Possession very even. Shots on target. Watford did edge it. But we're in a good little spell of form here. And the substitutions very much made a big difference. Milintijevic coming on, getting a 7 rating, 7.9 for Özdemir, 7.8 for Tolaj. Rico only a 6.6, which surprises me because I thought he passed the ball around quite well, and a 7.3 there for Schneider. So the subs really making the difference. A little bit of strength in depth showing there as well. It is still a very small squad, but yeah, really, really good performance in that last 10 minutes, considering we made quite a few changes. And following those 2 results, in terms of the league table, we're now up to 15th place. And we're still only 8 points clear of the relegation zone. Quite a few of the teams winning matches below us at the minute. Only 3 points behind Bristol in 14th, and quite a few points behind that top half now. But there's a big opportunity for us. If we can keep doing what we're doing, I think we're going to be looking pretty reasonable toward the end of the season. It's just a case of if we can really start pushing everything forward. In terms of the way the fixtures are looking, we'll probably get another 2 episodes out of it, I think. I can't imagine us being in with a promotion fight come the end of the season. We'll probably come back for QPR and Luton. They're probably the games that I'm looking at the moment in the beginning of March. And then we'll probably just forward through to the end of the season. And then obviously we've got a very busy summer ahead. But really positive signs. And we'll see how we get on in these coming weeks. But fingers crossed, it will continue the way it started. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.